Hi, I'm Joe, and today I am doing my September wrap-up video. So these are all of the books that I read in September. The Miniaturist by Jessie Burton. I just finished this last night, and I'm still kind of not sure exactly what I think about it. It was a great book, a page turner. I enjoyed it. It is the story of Nella, who at 18 is married to a prosperous businessman in the city. She hasn't met him. Her mother and his sister arranged the marriage. It takes place in Amsterdam, and things start happening almost right away when Nella arrives. Her husband buys her a cabinet, which there's actually a picture of one in here. It's a replica of a house. It's like a dollhouse, except it has doors and it's on legs. He buys her this cabinet that is a replica of their house. And she then, it's to keep her busy. She's offended at first because she's not a child. And then she decides to buy the stuff for the house. So she contacts a miniaturist, and this miniaturist starts sending her things that she did not request, but that are exact replicas of things in the house, things that aren't even in the house yet when she receives them. I don't want to go into a full review of this book because I might film a video for it, but weird things start happening surrounding these miniatures that she's sent, and this is all that happens. It was a definite page turner and I greatly enjoyed it. Landline by Rainbow Rowell. This is the first Rainbow Rowell I have read. I didn't know what to expect. I've just heard her name all over BookTube, and when I saw it at the library, I decided to pick it up and see what all the hype is about. This particular story is about a married couple and their struggles in their marriage. Georgie, the main character, stays in LA over Christmas while her husband takes their two children and goes back to, I forget, like Nebraska or something. And she ends up staying at her mother's house because she doesn't want to go home to her house where it is empty. She pulls this old yellow telephone out of her bedroom closet and calls her husband at his mother's house, except she, after a couple of phone calls, she realizes she's not talking to her husband present day. She's talking to her husband years ago when they were dating and sort of in the same situation. He had gone home for Christmas and she had stayed there and they were having issues. So this is what unfolds, and it was a nice fluffy read. It had some definite little tearjerker moments in there, and I enjoyed it. Agatha Christie, And Then There Were None. I loved this book. I loved it. I was guessing until the end. I figured out one teeny tiny little element, but I did not figure out the whole thing at all. I am glad I read this book, and I plan to read more Agatha Christie. Virginia Woolf, Mrs. Dalloway. I don't know what to say about this book. I struggled through it. It is beautifully written. I love the way it's written. I just kind of, it wasn't what I expected, I guess. I guess that I should have maybe read a review or something on it before I read it because I was expecting more action. There is not any action in this book. It is the story of several people and their typical day, but the way it is written is amazing. There are a handful of main characters, and this book has no chapters and hardly any paragraph breaks. So to change narrators, one of the characters will pass another of the characters, like on the street or somewhere at a party or a restaurant, and all of a sudden a different person is narrating. And the way that she was able to do that, I thought that that was just amazing, and I really enjoyed that. Among the Janeites by Deborah Yaff. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce her last name. On the back, it says it's a cultural study. Deborah is a journalist, and she also is a Jainite. She decided to write a book about different Jainites that she has encountered at conventions and that she's discovered online and whatnot. And it's very interesting because the Jane Austen fandom is quite large, and the people come from all different backgrounds. So this tells more of their stories, why they love Jane Austen, when they came to love Jane Austen, and how they celebrate their love for her. Some of them dress up in elaborate Regency era gowns and go to the annual Jane Austen Society of North America convention. And there is one man that is a bit cantankerous, and he enjoys scuffles online, posting on some message boards and stirring up a little bit of trouble. Life on the Refrigerator Door by Alice Cupers. This was not what I expected. Well, it was a very easy read. I read it very quickly. But I didn't know it was a cancer story. So there were tears, and this little blurb here on the front says, "Funny yet poignant, a pure pleasure." I don't think that this person read the book, because it was not pure pleasure or funny. It was sad, and it was real. Like every note wasn't sad, and it tells their story. This was a very interesting way to share the story of a mother and her teenage daughter through a struggle in their little family. But it was not pleasure. What? Oh, and this person says bittersweet, funny, and achingly real. It's not funny. Not funny. I did enjoy it, but I just didn't realize what was going to be happening, because it doesn't say that. It says, yet the patterns of their daily routine soon become extraordinary when a crisis overtakes their lives and redefines the relationship forever. It doesn't say cancer. So there were tears. Ray Bradbury, Fahrenheit 451. I did a video on this book for Banned Book Week. I will link to that below. I enjoyed this book greatly, as you can see. Love this book. It is now in my top 5. I am sad that it took me this many years to get to it. So you should definitely read that. The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian by Sherman Alexie. This has some controversy around it because of some language and some things in it that boys do in private. But it was a very moving story. This boy lives on an Indian reservation. The Indian reservation is, everyone lives in poverty basically. And he realizes the only way to get out of this is if he goes to school in a neighboring town and gets a better education and leaves the reservation eventually. The other Indians on the reservation are not happy about this. They see him as a traitor, and there's hostility. So there's some sad things that happen. It's a very moving story. He is a freshman in high school, I believe, when this book starts, and he went through a lot, and he went through a lot to get to school. Even sometimes his dad didn't have money for gas, and he would end up having to walk or hitchhike I think that it was like 20 miles or something. I don't know, he ended up having to hitchhike to school in the snow and the dark and find ways home. And this is a story about how his new high school at first shunned him because he was different, and then how they accepted him, and it's a bit of a coming of age story but it doesn't span a huge amount of time, and I really enjoyed this book. It is YA. The story is for all ages. There once lived a girl who seduced her sister's husband and he hanged himself. Love Stories by Ludmila Petrashevskaya. I have tried really hard to say that name several times. And I love the picture of her on the back. It says, by turns sly and sweet, burlesque and breathtaking, these realist fables of women looking for love are the stories that Ludmila, who has been compared to Chekhov, Tolstoy, Beckett, Poe, Angela Carter, and even Stephen King, is best known for in Russia. They're all just short stories, and I enjoyed it a lot. Some of them were very heartbreaking, but others were not so much. The Amazing Adventures of Kavalier and Clay by Michael Chabon. I just posted a book talk video about this book. I loved it, and you should pick it up. And my last book for September, Lord of the Flies by William Golding. I had never read this before. I believe it is YA. It's about a bunch of 13-ish-year-old boys and some that are younger. There are plane crashes on a deserted island, and they have to take care of themselves. There are a lot of themes in this book. It is not only a first-rate adventure story, but a parable of our times. It sort of mirrors the real-life adult world, the power struggles that adults have. I think that people usually read this about junior high, and depending on your junior high child, it may be a little bit too much because there are some harsh and tragic and gory scenes in this book. The theme is an attempt to trace the defects of society back to the defects of human nature. The moral is that the shape of a society must depend on the ethical nature of the individual and not on any political system, however apparently logical or respectable. The whole book is symbolic in nature except the rescue in the end, where adult life appears dignified and capable, but in reality enmeshed in the same evil as the symbolic life of the children on the island. So it was a moving book, and I am glad that I have now read it. So those were all the books that I read in September. I had a very good reading month. I was particularly surprised because this book took me a little bit to get through, partially because I didn't want it to end, so I would make myself read slower. If you would like to hear any more about these books, let me know, and I will consider doing a book talk. I'm still not confident in doing my book talk, book discussion, book reviews, so I am hesitant to do another. I'm going to try to do some more. Hopefully I will get better at that with time. If you have read any of these books, I would love to talk about them. Let me know in the comments below, and also let me know what was your favorite read for the month of September. I really don't know which one I could tell you was my favorite. This one was definitely a good one, but also Ray Bradbury. I don't know, I just read so many good books in September. I will talk to you later. Bye.